Welcome to Buffalo After Dark, everybody. It's your Wednesday night uncensored, unfiltered, and unafraid sports show. You still up? This episode of Buffalo After Dark starts now. Welcome over to Buffalo After Dark, everybody. It is Wednesday night, March 29th. And we have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. A lot of things in the NFL. Obviously, we're going to talk some Sabres. But, Bobby, it's another week. And guess what? Anyone who's actually been with us since episode 1, you've lasted 100. Congratulations. You've lasted 125 episodes now.
That's longer than Sean has in 2 years. Come on, you know that's true.
Yeah, it is. We won't relive that, obviously. But how's it going, man? I know you had Bert down there with you this weekend.
Yeah, I did. I have our good buddy Rob Hazu down in Long Island for the weekend because he was here for a day and a half from New Jersey, and I gave him the Long Island Express experience, basically taking him down to Jones Beach, getting him to try the infamous ziti from Super Fry. For those who are wondering, it's basically a chicken cutlet sandwich with Roscoe sauce, which is kind of like a sweet sauce with mozzarella cheese and bacon inside, like a panini, and then you bite into it. Tom has had it before.
It's a good place.
It's fucking delicious.
Good place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so... Yep, only difference though, he got to see the new bar and I was in the original. So, which the old traditions will not die.
No, never. And by the way, you still have to come down and see the new one, that's for sure.
Oh, I know. I still got to come down there pretty soon, which the good thing is I should have some time, hopefully at some point this is coming up, so we'll see what happens. But of course we also have our nice little football trip we got to still plan out too, so.
Yeah. Well, we have to still find out, but it's either going to be Cincinnati or it's going to be Philadelphia. It might be both. We really don't know yet.
Yeah. But in either case, whatever we decide, it'll be kind of similar to what we did in October. You guys will get to see it on YouTube. So of course, you'll get to be there with us. But anyways, what we'll do, let's kick it off. If you want to give us a shout, we're on Facebook Live. You can call us at 929-205-6099. And of course, everyone that's watching, we appreciate it. Let's start off with the Sabres because the Sabres finally somewhat righted the ship. Except, of course, when it came to the shootout against Montreal, you go 6 rounds deep, and good old Eric Comrie decided to take a dump on the ice. And, I can't necessarily blame all of it on him, per se. But the biggest question I would have, why did we wait until the 4th round of the shootout to put Jack Quinn in?
I don't understand that.
Me either.
I seriously don't get it. Because for one, if you go back to Saturday, where Rob and I went to the Islander game, Eric Comrie, and I told Rob this before the game, and I said, Rob, if the Sabres lose this game within any expectations coming from me, it's going to be the fact that Eric Comrie couldn't stop a beach ball for his life. And what does the fucker do? He performs a shutout.
Seriously. Whoever thought that was going to happen?
I didn't either. Seeing a shutout live from Eric fucking Comrie, all people, is the equivalent of watching Michael Leighton get to the Stanley Cup Finals and winning the cup.
Yeah, seriously. Or that, yeah, there's really no other way to describe it. Granted, props to the team for getting the shutout, but at the same time, the Sabres were finally starting to do some of the little things right again. And as we look at what happened in both that game and then, of course, the one after, and even in the Montreal game, they started playing more physical. They started playing their style of hockey more, which is something they had gotten away from, actually, over the last 9-game stretch. Then on top of that, you look at you look at a couple of plays, we were not afraid to drop the gloves. So that's, again, good. We were kind of getting away from that. But I will say, Tage Thompson is still having a great season. He's still on fire. And, right now, I would not be surprised if he hits the 50 mark by the end of the season in terms of the goals. He's
definitely got, 45?
Yeah, he could realistically do it. 50-goal season. And on top of it, Dahlin's playing better. Defensively, though, it's still very suspect. And that's the one thing that I would expect that Adams addresses in the draft this year and potentially with free agency. But I would say, in terms of what Thompson's been doing, Skinner's hitting the lamp again, so that's good. We're starting to see a lot of the good things come back. I'm just wondering if they felt too pressured because of the fact that they were on that streak and trying to get into that last wild card spot. That's where I'm wondering if things got away from them a little bit.
I don't know about that, but it's more like this team is still young. But the one thing that I did not appreciate, which was completely inexcusable, was I think it was the game against Philly. I don't really remember. I think it was before Nashville. It was between either Nashville or Boston. Don Granato made a comment saying that the team felt pressured as to why they lost these games. I'm like, Donnie, you're the coach. You're supposed to be the guy to rejuvenate this group and saying, fuck the pressure. You have nothing to lose at this point. Mm-hmm. It's not like, the Islanders or the Penguins who are trying to keep their playoff streak alive, and then all of a sudden now you have something to play for, and you better pray that Florida falls on its bed. You know what I mean? Because you're competing with Pittsburgh, you're competing with Florida, you're competing with Washington, I think. So there's a lot of teams that Buffalo is chasing right now for that last wildcard spot, particularly Pittsburgh and Florida. And Ottawa is now creeping back into the picture.
Yeah, and I would have never thought Ottawa would have been getting back in like the way they are, but I mean, they've been playing well as of late. Florida, I was kind of surprised to see them take the fall that they did because they got off to a nice start this season. They were able to maintain that throughout the majority of the season. But then, as we all know, things come up. Injuries, you get depleted, your call-ups get depleted. So they're just running into a rough stretch also, just like what we were doing. I do like the fact that it seems like Washington was finally able to find its way because they were struggling for a good part of the season this year as well. And now with them kind of getting their groove back on, I mean, they're playing better. Pittsburgh, they're a crapshoot right now. And I think part of it is who knows what that team's going to be dealing with next season, but they've been having a lot of problems, especially with their forwards and their goaltending is suspect.
See, that's the thing about Pittsburgh, is how is it that they've made it this far? I mean, the only experiences I can think of is what I just said was like experience with Crosby and Malkin and all those guys. Yeah. But they were able to lead by example and saying, guys, this is what you do in order to make it this far in the playoffs. I mean, these guys have won multiple cups times over, and it's just like they're basically the modern equivalent to the Red Wings from the 90s and mid 2000s, where they have a team that's on the decline. And yet they try to hopefully keep the streak alive for as long as possible and go from there. And I think the record was 27 years, or it may have been 25 years, for a team to consecutively make the playoffs. And the Red Wings, I think, held that record for the longest time.
Yeah, until Jeff Blazel took over.
Yeah, until then, that's pretty much it for the Red Wings. But at that point, and I've said this before, even if Buffalo misses the playoffs by a couple of days, this wouldn't be the worst draft class to miss it out on. Right,
and you're 100% right. It's a very deep draft class this year. There's a lot of good players. Which, who knows, but although I very highly doubt we'll win the number one pick, but you never know. It's always possible with the lottery. It could happen.
I mean, it's fool's gold at this point to think that Connor Bedard would be on the Sabres. But if he somehow were to get the number one pick in the draft, that would be staggering. But I don't expect that to happen. I think of all the teams that have the best shot to get the first overall pick right now, it's San Jose.
Yeah, and they need it. They really need to rebuild because they have been struggling for a while, and then even look at it, Joe Thornton coming back, and same thing. I mean, it's just they are struggling. But in either case, I will say this is the best Sabre season we've had in quite a while, and this young core, even if we don't make the playoffs, there's a lot to be proud of. They went a lot further than a lot of people thought they would. And to be able to see Tage Thompson emerge the way he has, especially this season, he really took the bull by the horns and really put the team on his back. And he proved that he was an excellent return for what we got in that O'Reilly trade. So I'm really glad to see how he panned out. Dahlin has started to take his game to another level as well. But, of course, with Samuelsson being out, you really lose so much of that defensive depth. So I think what has to happen now, let's say we make the playoffs. Do I think we'll necessarily go all the way? No. Realistically, I would say we're probably first round and out if that happens based on the current team and how they're set up. But in the event, let's say we draft some good players this coming year, and let's say we have somebody that's NHL ready, and if we can get some in free agency and Samuelsson comes back, then I think we'll be in a much better spot where we can go further than the first round potentially, because then my expectation would be is that we're supposed to hit the playoffs again. So that's kind of where I'm thinking about it there. But the team really does have a lot to be proud of in terms of what they've been able to do what they've been able to do this past season.
Right. And it's a big factor when you think about it, because you're pretty much thriving on a young core that they've got going on. And it's not going to be based on how bad they are that's going to attract free agents. It's the talent. Mm-hmm. And one comment I'm starting to see very frequently this year is Rasmus Dahlin is being compared as a supervillain because of how much of a pest he's become, which is good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And the thing is, he has gotten a lot more physical. He's not afraid to take on anybody. And he's done some very, very good defensive plays this year, and I kind of look at that in a sense because when you look at defense, I kind of there's so many comparables that you can really work with here, but I will say, just even like the little subtle things he can do to change a play. And then the fact that he can turn 180 and go offensive on somebody, it's just really nice to see how his game is emerging. But he's getting that nasty streak, which is really nice. More than Ristolainen ever had.
Well, Ristolainen was a friggin' pylon, and he did nothing, basically. And he's been here for 7 years. All he did after every season-ending press conference was whine and bitch about the team. That's all he did. Him and Jack Eichel were two of the biggest egomaniacs on the team. I mean, outside of that whole 2015-16 Buffalo Sabres when those guys were together. But aside the point, is Dahlin is a much more physical defenseman and is more gifted than Ristolainen ever will be. So that's a fact. We already knew that with Dahlin when he first got drafted.
Yeah. In fact, here you go. So for all the stats people, take a guess at Risto's plus-minus for his career.
He's like minus 43, isn't he?
Way worse.
What, minus 79?
Worse than that.
Fuck. How much higher do I have to go?
A lot higher.
Can you give me a hint?
Just take a guess, because even if you double what your last answer is, it's still not even close.
All right, fine. I'm going to take one more guess. I'm going to say minus 215.
No, you're closer into the ballpark. No, for his career, so 674 games played for Risto. 51 goals, 227 assists, 278 points, and 357 penalty minutes. His plus minus is minus 173. And that's as of today on NHL.com. Minus 173 for Risto.
And the Flyers traded a first-round pick for this guy.
Yeah.
And they paid him $5 million per year.
Yeah. And they thought that stats don't count.
Fuck. Have fun, Billy.
How does somebody become a minus 173 in the plus minus?
You know, I would love to know that, because I don't have a fucking clue how any of this works with Ristolainen, because he's been so bad defensively since he's gotten here. I mean, aside from like the first 2 years since he was on the team, he's been fine, but then after that, he just really regressed.
Yeah, and he's a -1 this season, so I mean that doesn't help him any. But minus 173, I don't think I've seen defensemen that bad. I mean, to be honest. Now, in full comparison, Rasmus Dahlin for his career, he is a -71, but he is a +7 this season, so he has started to make improvements.
Yeah, some improvements. I mean, it's like saying, as an
he's
old
over 100 points better than Risto is.
I mean, it's like contracting a cough only to realize you just contained tuberculosis.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, oh my god, minus 173.
Fucking Flyers, man, with Ristolainen. I don't know how anybody could pay that kind of money.
Yeah, seriously. But on a side note, then you look at McJesus, and he's a plus 106 for his career. So, but then again, that's McJesus we're talking about. Which I will say, his 60th goal against the Edmonton Oilers, in the game where they ended up playing against Arizona. Oh man, that was beautiful to watch that. And I think Bobby's Wi-Fi might have cut out. Yeah, I think he did freeze up a little bit, but what we'll do, let's take, well, if there's anyone that wants to make any comments on the page, you're more than welcome to. Obviously, you can give us a call at 929-205-6099, and of course, we're happy to chat with you as well. But yeah, it looks like Bobby's Wi-Fi did quit, so we'll get him back on here, and of course, we'll keep on moving. But really, the biggest thing right now, the Sabres are moving in a better direction. They are going to do some good things. And, of course, now we just have to kind of wait and see. But at least it's not playoff hell or purgatory or anything like that that's coming back. So at least we're in good shape there. But before we bring in anyone else to the show tonight, of course, we want Captain Jack Campbell here. Hey, Andy, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Hey, not bad. So Bobby's Wi-Fi decided to take a crap and go on hiatus for a moment, so he should probably be back in a little bit.
All right.
But yeah, we were just talking about the whole thing with the Sabres and the fact that, I mean, they have been making some strides. But then we had to laugh at Ristolainen, who we got rid of, obviously. We all know about that deal. Being a minus 173 for his career.
Yeah, it says the world about him, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it does. It does. But that being said, you know, there are some bright spots that we were talking about, and of course, I mean, Thompson on pace for 50 this season. He should be able to make that, I would think, with no problem. And then, of course, look who's finally back.
I don't know what the fuck just happened. Hey, Rumpletilskin's here.
What's up?
Hey.
We were just joking about the minus 173 again.
Yeah, Risto sucks a fat dick in general.
Yep. Exactly.
Right. There's your pick, everybody. Good night.
Yep. But all things being said, though, really not much on the calendar for the NHL tonight. Just one game, the Kings versus the Oilers, and that'll be 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Well, you also have the Islanders and the Capitals right now.
How's that going?
I think it's scoreless in the end of the first. I didn't really check. I know locally it's on MSG, but for everyone else in your region, in Andy's region, it would be on TNT.
Okay. Well, and then, of course, last night Vegas lost, so Edmonton's got another win under their belt.
Yeah, so the Islanders are playing the Capitals in the end of the first, and the Panthers are playing the Leafs, and that's the end of the first. Florida's winning 1-0, and then later tonight is Minnesota, Colorado at 10.
Yep. So
That's gonna be a good one.
yeah, it should be. But yeah, besides the Sabres, I mean, we had a couple other NHL things coming up. Pekka Rinne is gonna be in statue form.
Statue form? Was he a fucking Power Ranger?
No, they're building the damn statue for him.
Yeah, they already did that. I mean, it got revealed this week. Yeah, I think it got revealed like Monday or something, or it might have been it was Saturday they revealed it to the public, and it's like literally like equivalent to the Wayne Gretzky statue outside of Staples Center or Crypto.com, whatever you want to call it. But it's the equivalent to that. But no, I'm happy for Nashville fans. I mean, Pekka Rinne was a great goalie. He has his jersey retired, and is almost a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer. But I don't know. I mean, do you think he deserves a statue?
Well, I mean, he did a lot for the Preds. I ain't gonna discount that.
I mean, it's definitely, a deserving honor for sure, but I think that's a bit extreme. I mean, it's one thing to get your jersey retired, but it's another when you get a statue. I mean, the guy literally accomplished so much on Nashville, but yet he was the only piece that's keeping them relevant. I mean, why didn't Mike Dunham or Thomas Vokoun get this kind of honor, but Pekka Rinne does?
Good question.
13 seasons with Nashville. I mean, he did bring him to a cup. He's got a lot of accolades. I don't know what he has in the trophy case. I can't remember. But
I think he has a Vezina. I'm pretty sure.
he has a lot under the resume. Does it validate a statue? I guess so. 13
Right.
years. I mean, they don't have anybody else to put on a statue, so
Yeah.
I guess they can start with him.
I mean, it was Nashville's only cup run.
Well, I mean, you could have put Shea Weber on there.
Well, I mean, he was a big figure with the team for a lot of years, especially in the early days.
Well, yeah, he was a big cornerstone to their defensive core with Ryan Suter.
Right.
You'd have to ask the Nashville faithful on that.
I don't know. I mean, Nashville. I mean, they've been around for 25 years, but I think if you have a goalie that's been around for half of its existence, I think it's worth it. But I don't know. I think they could have waited another 20 years or so to maybe another decade to give Pekka Rinne another statue. I mean, who knows what other legends could come along the way in Nashville? I mean, there's so many already, but Pekka Rinne is like the first real icon in that city.
Well, I guess you got to start somewhere. I guess you start with Rinne.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even another example I could give you, look at Mario Lemieux, who ended up playing through 2006, and then when their new arena opened, the first thing they had was a statue of Mario Lemieux.
See, Mario Lemieux is different because Mario Lemieux is like an NHL legend, Ola, and he actually deserves those honors. I mean, he won 2 Stanley Cups, multiple Hart trophies. He's won the Rocket Richard. I mean, literally the guy was
World Cup.
an icon.
Yeah, won the World Cup. He's won a gold medal in 2002 with the Salt Lake Games. I mean, 1987 Canada Cup. 1985 silver medalist Czechoslovakia World Championships, 1983 Soviet Union World Junior Championships bronze medalist. Then on top of it, we all remember he ended up dealing with illness for a while, so he retired and then came back.
Yeah, Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah, and won another freaking cup after that.
I think he only won 2.
Well, I was trying 91.
To think when was his 2? Because I know 91 was one of them.
Yeah, I was born in 1992, so Pittsburgh won the cup.
Wasn't it back-to-back? Didn't they have a back-to-back?
Yeah, one year was against the North Stars, and the other one was against the Blackhawks. That was when, Eddie Belfour and Dominic Hasek with a 1-2 punch in Chicago. And that was before anybody had a fucking clue how good Dominic Hasek truly was.
Right. Okay. Yeah, no, actually the cup would have been before he retired and then came back, because he was retired from 90, it looks like 97 to 2000, so. But then he came back and played another 6 years, so that's pretty impressive on its own, too.
And his last season was with Sidney Crosby in his rookie year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sidney Crosby lived with him for his rookie year.
Well, yeah, when you're the new face of the franchise, you obviously have that entitlement. But, I mean, I could see Sidney Crosby getting a statue and Evgeny Malkin getting a statue. Mm-hmm. Because those two alone would have been, gems in
cups.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 2 cups together.
3 cups.
3 cups.
Yeah, 3 cups together. 09, 16, and 17.
Yeah. I don't know why I forgot about 17 for some reason.
Yeah, because Pittsburgh has 5 cups in general.
Yeah. But, no, at the same time, I mean, we all see why Lemieux deserves it. I mean, that'd be like the NBA comparison. Jordan, he's got the statue at the United Center, which it used to sit outside, and now it's indoors in their atrium. So, but then he won so many world titles. I mean, he won at least 5 championships, so.
Well, Michael Jordan is probably the greatest basketball player of all time. I think the Lakers have that with Kobe Bryant, if I remember.
Well, Kobe's definitely one of the greatest of all time. Shaq's one of the best of all time. Although all the LeBron fans are going to say, "Oh, LeBron's better than Michael Jackson." No, Michael Jordan. Why the fuck did I think Jacko just now? But
I can give.
Yeah, me either. LeBron. It's like, yeah, he's a great player, but there is no way he is better than Jordan.
I had to. You knew that. Because you said Michael Jackson, damn it.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, when I got knocked out for surgery, that's how I learned what propofol feels like. I figured, well, now I know why he liked it.
Of course he did.
But at the same time, Jordan, that was like back in the day when NBA was the way it was with all those players. It was much more of a all out brawl a lot of times in terms of the playing style. Now it's like, oh, you get a foul just for measly touching somebody. It's like, come on.
I mean, I don't watch basketball, so that's like foreign to me.
The game's soft now compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, speaking of soft,
just like hockey, it's gotten softer than what it used to be.
I don't know. I kind of disagree. I mean, there's certain hits.
You don't have people dropping the gloves anymore like you used to.
Because they're trying to prevent concussions.
You see they're trying to get rid of fighting in the lower levels?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not going to sit well.
Oh, hell no. I want someone to drop the gloves and actually try to ignite a team one of these days.
Oh, it'll come about at some point. Speaking of fights, there's actually a new documentary. I don't know if Andy heard this or not. Tom might have. But there's a documentary that's coming out this summer, I believe. It's a new episode of 30 for 30 from ESPN about the 2011 Vancouver riots.
What?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. They actually confirmed it. And I can actually read you the exact headline for this episode. And I actually took a snapshot of it just to kind of get the point. Here we go. From the press release, ESPN in quotation says, ESPN Films today announced that the production, because this was on Friday, has completed, quote, I'm Just Here for the Riot, a 30 for 30 documentary about the 2011 Stanley Cup Vancouver riots. Yeah, imagine that. Why would you want to film a documentary about these animals that destroyed their city when they lost in the fucking cup? I understand being angry. Yeah, and it got to the point that TSN officials used the picture of the infamous picture of the two couples kissing on the floor in the city of Vancouver during the riot.
That doesn't even feel like a documentary at all.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, I could care less about it.
I mean,
that was going to be a big ordeal. Who cares? I mean, there's places that riot all the time for when they lose. I don't know why Vancouver's so special.
Right. I mean, Philadelphia was pretty much rioting after the Super Bowl. I mean, they rioted after the World Series. They've rioted after Stanley Cups. Every freaking city does it.
I think it has something to do with the stereotype of how Canadians are supposed to be the nicest people in the world. And yet they riot the city.
No, they rioted last year in 2022 after the Breakout Festival.
What Breakout Festival?
Vancouver. Apparently what happened, there was a Breakout Festival, which was a concert, and then the headliner, Lil Baby, ends up canceling, and then apparently what happened is there was an all-out massive riot because of the cancellation.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's new. I didn't even know that was a thing until you just said it.
Yeah, it was basically a music festival, and then even better, one of the things they had to put out on Twitter is like, last night's end to the 2022 Breakout Festival resulted in the worst case scenario of disappointment due to Sunday's final performer canceling, and we want to apologize to everyone who peacefully left the venue, as well as the venue staff and the Hastings Sunrise neighborhood for the way Breakout 2022 ended. We do not condone violence or destruction of property and are utterly disappointed with the way some of our patrons acted at this year's event. So basically, they rioted because someone decided to cancel last minute, and there you go.
Well, I remember when Justin Bieber was in the mainstream media, everybody, because my sister went to the event, which it took place at Roosevelt Field Mall. Justin Bieber was supposed to sign autographs there, and it got canceled on the day he was supposed to go there. I guess it's because he was so popular at the time, and the guards had to, or his public, his personal security said, Justin's not coming out, he's not sick, and they had a massive, mini riot inside the mall. I mean, granted, my sister was not in the riot. She left as soon as it was about to break out. But there was a massive riot that took place in all the fangirls of Justin Bieber at the time. So that's kind of stupid in comparison. But, it's also stupid that a handful of Canadian people would burn down their city over a Stanley Cup game. I mean, it's one thing if it's Buffalo, if you win the Stanley Cup. But it's another if you're Vancouver, because you were the best team in the league that year. You didn't deliver in the game that you were most absurd you were going to win, and they got cocky, and then all of a sudden, you burned down the fucking city. Hell, they flipped their truck over in 1994 when they lost to the Rangers.
We didn't riot when we lost.
Exactly.
No. No. What I'm saying is like if the Bills or the Sabres were to ever win a championship, I guarantee you the first city would riot with Buffalo.
Yeah, the city's going to shit. I mean, we're burning everything. I might even participate.
I might bring in this. Yeah, there you go. It's like bringing a 5-gallon thing of gasoline to really like make it go.
Because it's finally, it'll be finally lifted off our shoulders that we are a championship city. Like, right. Enough is enough.
It'd be like Boston when
everybody knows we deserve it.
Yep, it'd be like when Boston finally won the World Series after like over 80 years.
Right. I mean, it's good. The city's gonna. I mean, I'll be in the streets, fucking going apeshit crazy somewhere.
Yeah, someone's gonna be throwing a couch like T-2 seconds right after a win.
You mean like in Bruce Almighty?
Well, there's gonna be at least a minimum of one couch or one car on fire if that happens.
You know what's really sad? When Bruce Almighty first came out, I think it was like 2002 when that movie came out. That was like over 20 years ago. When I first saw that movie, I genuinely thought the Sabres won the Stanley Cup. And then I realized, and I looked it up, I'm like, God damn it, they don't have the Stanley Cup. And my brother's like, they didn't really win the cup, right? It's like, really? And like, it's just part of the movie. And then, of course, Jim Carrey walks out of the apartment, and then the entire city of Buffalo is in a fucking blaze.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, it's true.
It would happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% would happen.
No, but I am almost certain that the city of Buffalo will burn in flames if the city were to ever win a championship.
Oh, yeah. Chance of that happening is like 100%.
Absolutely.
You know what? I don't even know if we would burn anything, but things would definitely get trashed.
Yeah.
I mean, cars will be smashed, cars will be flipped.
Cars will be on fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be just...
Yeah. Couches will be on fire.
At least the first time around it will be, whether it's the Sabres or the Bills, whoever gets there first.
Right. Very true. But what we'll do is we'll wrap up the half hour on one last thing here too, and that is the playoffs are right around the corner, so a lot of fun things to look forward to.
Yeah, the playoffs are right around the corner, and it's going to be fun. And in the 2 weeks on April 12th, as a reminder, we're going to be doing our official mock draft for the 2023 NFL Draft.
Yep. So we're going. But with that being said, let's wrap up our first half hour. Second half hour of Buffalo After Dark is going to start right about now. Welcome to Buffalo After Dark, everybody. It's your Wednesday night uncensored, unfiltered, and unafraid sports show. You still up? This episode of Buffalo After Dark starts now. And welcome back to Buffalo After Dark, everybody. It's the second half hour of the show. We got Bob, we got Andy here. And, of course, let's jump right into football because we have a lot of things that have happened over the past week or so. But one of the big things that happened on the Bills, of course, actually there's two things that happened. So first, we were able to resign Jordan Phillips for 1 year on a $3 million deal. So that came out today. But then we also got former Rams safety Taylor Rapp for cheap.
Yeah, for cheap. And they also brought in Dave Edwards from the Rams as well.
Yeah. Good depth signings.
I just realized 3 members of the Super Bowl Rams are on the Bills.
Yeah, if we include Von Miller.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And the good news is Von Miller's rehab is on track, so he's on schedule.
Hell yeah. So he'll be back. So basically he'll be in time for September.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he should.
Hell yeah.
Yep, and then of course the other news that came out this week is, and this was no surprise to anyone who follows the Bills. I mean, we were all guessing this was going to happen, and we all pretty much knew it would happen. But Sean McDermott officially will be the defensive coordinator along with being the head coach this year.
Well, maybe it'll be better than what Leslie Frazier had in the last 7 years, because everybody, including myself, bitched and moaned about Leslie Frazier. Mm-hmm. Oh, he should have been fired 2 years ago, or he should have done this, he should have done that. And I'm saying to myself, okay, I would understand, playing like shit in this game, but the year before when they had that showdown with Kansas City in the playoffs, that was just something that was unreasonable at the time. But now looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, that was completely his fault.
Yeah. Well, plus the other thing is, a few episodes back, remember when we showed that one play that happened against Cincinnati, where we were literally like 15 yards off the ball?
There was like no zone coverage whatsoever.
Exactly. You can't do that against the Bengals, let alone any other team. But come on, Frazier. But I will say, McDermott has been a defensive coordinator before. He was on the defense, of course, with Carolina. He was with the Philadelphia Eagles. He learned under Andy Reid. He was a damn good defensive coordinator when he was doing that. So I'm thinking, my guess would be is that there won't be too much different with the defense. But I'm kind of thinking there probably will be a little bit of a nasty streak to it.
I mean, let's see what Andy has to say about it. As I know, he says, hashtag, we want Captain Jack Campbell. Who the fuck is Captain Jack Campbell? Can you explain that to me?
Are you serious right now? I gotta explain that to you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That is Jack Campbell's nickname at the University of Iowa. Captain Jack.
Why did they just call him Daddy Jack Campbell?
He's the captain of the defense. He's captain of the defense, Captain Jack. He's been there for 4 years.
Well, okay.
And I hope this kid is the 27th overall pick for the Buffalo Bills. I'm telling you right now.
Ooh,
this kid is amazing.
I would have no
Some
problem.
People are like, oh, yeah, this kid's going to be there in the second round. I'm like, nah, if he is, he's not going to be around long. He won't be there by the time the Bills.
Honestly, I'm more convinced they're going to take Osiris Torrance than they will take Jack Campbell. That's what I think. Because they need as much as help for an offensive line as possible.
Well, they got it. They got a lot of people. They got McGovern that came in. They got Williams. I mean, there's only so many people they're going to have. They re-signed Quisenberry. I mean, I know they're going to probably get another one, but I'm not getting one in the second or the first round. Yeah. I would go for one in the second. There's a deep class this year in O linemen, so I would wait till the second. I mean, there should still be some pretty good ones in the second round.
Yeah, but Campbell, he's got a lot of great accolades on him. I mean, the fact he's been to 3 bowl games, the Butkus Award, the Campbell Trophy, unanimous All-American in 2022, Defensive Player of the Year in 2022, Linebacker of the Year 2022, and 2 times First Team All Big Ten. In 21 and 22. I will take that every day.
6'5", 250, same size as Edmonds.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't put. He plays. He played zone at Iowa, so he would be very familiar with the Bills' defensive scheme.
Right.
So he's just not. People give him a knock because he's not, fast enough. He doesn't shoot the gaps fast, but he doesn't have to. He reads the plays very well.
Yeah.
So.
And
just watch the film. I don't even need to explain. Watch film.
Yeah, I mean, he's very solid. He's very solid with what he does. And even going back to his high school career, 338 career tackles, school record.
Damn. So maybe the Bills are very high on it.
Kid knows how to play coverage too.
Yeah, and that's important, especially in the pros.
Well, actually, I had one proposal, and that is this: why don't the Bills trade up in the first round like they did last year to get Elam and take Jack Campbell there and trade with like Baltimore or something if it's available, or whoever is in the mid-20s. Let me see. I have the board on my hand.
I can see them moving up. I even moved up in my mock drafts to get them, but I only moved up like 2-3 spots. But I moved up to get them, and it didn't cost much. But I mean, that's just
sometimes you gotta do it.
Well, if I'm being completely honest, I would trade with Jacksonville. If the Bills are that serious about trading up for Jack Campbell, do it.
I did one for Jack Campbell with Jacksonville, actually. he's worth it. I was arguing with people today about it. Like, so a lot of people think, he's not worth the first round grade. And, I was going back and forth with people. I was like, listen, it's a major need. I don't care what McDermott says about, or what Bean says about, oh yeah, there's competition there with Dotson and Spector. Those guys aren't going to lead your defense and play calling and getting people where they need to be in position and calling plays. No, I mean they can fight for it all they want, but those guys are really backups.
Yeah, Campbell would be a starter.
Campbell is a day one starter, and he will facilitate that defense. Not to mention he's being trained right now by Luke Kuechly, and who he has ties with.
Yep.
Yeah, and somehow Adam despises Luke Kuechly for some reason.
Why?
Yeah, no, that's Adam.
I don't understand.
Kuechly is one of the really good players that Carolina had for all that time.
Yeah, he thinks he was the biggest bitch in Charlotte.
If he didn't have, those injury-prone years, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I mean, I like
him.
Luke Kuechly.
I'm telling you, this kid, like, I am big on linebackers. I love the tight ends. Those are my favorite positions in football. I don't know why. It's just I grew up liking those positions and playing those positions. But, you can't convince everybody that, the O-line is more of a need, the linebackers more. I'm like, look, you brought in guys, you signed guys, and to amp up the competition at O-line. Not saying you're not going to do that in the draft, but there's only three. I mean, you got three top-tier middle linebackers. Mm-hmm. They all bring a certain element to the game. But if I know, to me, I mean, Jack has the perfect film. Like, he's got it all. Like, I watched him. Yeah. I mean, in coverage, he's following the ball, the quarterback perfectly. He's making plays. He's intercepting the ball. I mean, he is all over the place with the ball carrier everywhere. Like, I was astonished at his film.
Yeah, and Iowa, they have an elite defense in terms of the Big Ten. That's an elite defense. But you look at what he's done, and of course he gets tutored by Luke Kuechly, but if we look at what he did in 2022, it was a nationwide best yards per play average, and it was a top 5 in total defensive and total defense and total defensive efficiency. And you can't go wrong with 118 tackles, being number 2 in the Big Ten and tied for number 13 nationally. That's pretty damn good.
Well, if he truly is the guy the Bills want in the first round, I would highly suggest taking him early while they can. Trade up with like Jacksonville or Baltimore again, and take him from there, and then give up your second round pick if you have one. I don't know, but I do think, looking at the picture, I understand where you're both coming from, because there's not that many linebacker available in free agency. I mean, Bobby Wagner went back to Seattle. Lavonte David went back to Tampa Bay. So there's really not a lot of options.
Right.
So if they're serious, go get him. I mean, I'm on board with it, but realistically, I think they're going to go after Osiris Torrance. I truly believe that. If you told me that 2 weeks ago, I would have told you, no, they're going to get Bijan Robinson. And that was before they got Damian Harris.
I don't know. I see that middle linebacker spot being very, very important to that defense.
Yeah.
As much as everybody loved Edmonds, and to me, he was just an average linebacker who
I didn't think he was that great.
Yeah, he made a lot of tackles, and he didn't make a lot of big plays. He didn't have a lot of sacks. But I mean, a lot of middle linebackers don't do that. But I mean, still, he got overpaid in my eyes.
Yeah.
But it's an important position. They need to replace it. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me that Spector and Dotson are going to be the guys that are, going to carry this defense, with play calling and audibles and where people got to be. I mean, Jack Campbell, he's highly intelligent. I mean, this kid can run the defense.
Yeah. He's a solid player.
That's the bigger need. As much as even in some of my drafts, I ended up taking a tackle first. I had a couple decent tackles that I took, but I ended up moving up in the second round to get Campbell because that is a major need in my eyes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I would say, if he's still there at the first round by the time that the Bills take him, go ahead and take him late in the first. I mean, obviously, do it. If there's a way that you can trade up a couple spots to grab him, go ahead and grab him, because he ain't gonna fall more than early second round, in my opinion. He's definitely gonna go off the board pretty quick.
Yeah, he'll be gone before 40.
I mean, take it with a grain of salt. If David Edwards turns out to be a bust and Osiris Torrance is available at 27, I would take Osiris Torrance just as like insurance. If God forbid, let him develop behind this offensive line. Because I think, to me, the offensive line is the second most important position in football next to the quarterback. And you desperately need to protect your franchise QB at all costs. Because we all watched Josh Allen die out there last year. And it's unfortunate how shitty that O-line was. So that's why I'm in favor, and being realistic here, of why I think they're going to take Osiris Torrance at 27, unless they trade up and then they take him. I don't know. The Bills have a lot of options out there for them, but I get the argument about taking a linebacker. But I'm thinking long-range game here, because you can find a linebacker anywhere available in the second round.
Yeah, you probably could.
But when you have a number one player like Campbell, you got to grab him.
Right. I'm not saying, look, I'm not against it, but I'm thinking long-term game. You know what I mean? Because what if, God forbid, the offensive line turns into shit again, and then what?
It'll be less shit with Campbell on there. I mean, we saw how they were the second half of the season last year. They couldn't do a damn thing in that Cincinnati game.
Well, that's my point, because the linebackers position isn't, you need to be there for them, but Edmonds was,
Edmonds did nothing.
Okay. Exactly, and then he got paid $18 million by the Bears. Come on.
Well, the Bears were fucking stupid to do that, but still, it's like when you have a generational player like Campbell that's out there, who's part of an elite defense, and the skill set that he brings, where he's going to be an upgrade over Tremaine Edmonds. I would say if we have to move up a few spots, grab him. Don't let him fall, because likely what would happen, let's say he's not available, if he's gone by 27, I wouldn't be surprised, quite honestly. He's definitely going to be gone well before 40.
Well, I mean, we'll see where it goes, because I really don't know where everything falls in place from here. But the draft was like one of the most interesting times of the year, because nobody really has a clue until the final say on the board, like on the night of the draft. Nobody has a fucking clue, because you know what it is? It's just rankings and predictions of who we think is going to go where. Like, I understand the scheme of Campbell, but I also understand why they need to get Torrance, because there's a possibility for both positions, because they're both in need. Because that's been the big factor too, is you need that interior passing rushing unit, and you also need protection. You need both. You need a balance. And the Bills, I think among the three of us, I think Brandon Beane knows that he has to do the right thing. Because, hell, they were talking about trading for DeAndre Hopkins just a few nights ago, and yet they're not going to pursue it anymore because his money is too big, and he's not willing to restructure his contract. He wants to be released, and the Cardinals are going to be in cap hell because of it until that happens.
Well, look at OBJ and what he wants on a yearly basis, and I mean the most he's been offered by any team is $4 million.
Right. I mean, if I'm the Bills in that position, trade for Courtland Sutton. He's cheaper than OBJ, and he's cheaper than D-Hop.
I would grab Jerry Jeudy. I mean, Courtland Sutton, whichever.
Another option.
Man, fuck Jerry Jeudy. That guy's too small.
All right. Settle down over there.
Man, fuck Jerry Jeudy. Okay? Fuck that guy.
Okay. Fuck Bobby Hansen, too. That guy is...
Hey, if you want Jerry Jeudy, you have to give up that first-round pick.
Yeah, well, you got to give to get, and, that's just how it goes. But they're going to have to find another receiver regardless, and this year's crop is absolutely garbage. So,
yeah. I also think receivers, if they're going for one at 27, I would say Zay Flowers, honestly.
Okay, but all right.
I'd probably let him fall more in the second round, if anything. But
which realistically is not going to happen.
Second round, if you really need one, sure, you will grab one. But there's nobody in that receiver group that sets themselves apart. Nobody.
It's not 2022 where there was a buttload of receivers available in the first round.
Right.
But it doesn't mean there's still talent. I mean, look at T. Higgins. Higgins was a highly commodity, first rounder, a few years ago before the Stephon Diggs trade, and he fell in the second round. He went to the Bengals.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of wide receivers that are going to be in the second round, I feel. I mean, there's just nobody really.
There's no clear standout.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, some teams might grab one in the first round because they just really need another receiver. Like, really, really need another receiver.
Because since Josh Allen was drafted, he has not played with any offensive players in the first round. All defensive guys.
Well, what are you going to do? You're finding gems in the late rounds.
Right.
You know? You traded for Stephon, you get Gabe in what? What was Gabe? Third? Fifth?
Yeah, Gabe was Gabe was later than the second round. I know that.
Gabe was in the fourth. Davis was taken in the fourth round, because I remember watching that during the pandemic.
Yeah, so he was definitely later in the draft, but he emerged and became a good receiver.
You know, you sign Cole Beasley. You find Shakir in the later rounds. I mean that's great. I mean, if you can find those late value, guys, that's great. I understand that, but this is another year where there's no wide receiver worth really grabbing in the first round in my eyes.
Yeah, be too much of a stretch.
Yeah. That's why I'm going for the biggest need at linebacker. I know Bobby's gonna Cyrus Torrance and the Cyrus Torrance's dick.
I'm not sucking his dick. Listen, Andy, you sucked more dick in 3 years.
I don't know what the obsession is with Osiris Torrance. I know he's a big dude. He's a big cat, and he's a pretty well-rounded. But you know what the Bills want. They want tweeners. They like guys who can play two positions.
Right.
So,
how about this? Trade for fucking Micah Parsons, and then that would be the case closed.
Jesus.
Here we go.
Oh boy. That'd be
No
like
big splash move.
That'd be like us going for Zeke past his prime.
Well, that's not going to happen. Well, Micah Parsons is in his third year. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and how much is that going to cost? No, thank you.
Yeah,
but he's not under contract until next year.
Yeah, but they'll blow the cap.
Well, Dallas is going to have to pay him.
Well, that'll be Dallas's problem. We got enough.
Right.
Keep a Super Bowl caliber team together and still moving and still being competitive.
Right.
But
I have a better idea. That fucking idiot is also going to be changing his number to 0. Yeah, because the NFL.
Yeah. They changed the rules.
0 is a number.
0 is now a number.
Somehow.
Yeah.
It is.
And then, of course, on top of that, they're reviewing the roughing the passer issue, which apparently did not pass.
Yeah, it's whatever. And then they're also cutting down the roster number now. I think you have to have an estimate number now of people you can cut. Yeah, right here. NFL owners approved a proposal to adopt one preseason cutdown date, which will be August 29th of this coming year. And there have been 3 roster cutdowns since the previous years, in 90 to 85, and then from 85 to 80, and then from 80 to 53. But there will only be one cutdown day moving forward, and the NFL teams will carry 90-man rosters throughout the entire preseason.
Yeah, maybe Osiris Torrance will get cut first.
Oh my God! You're really that fucking bitter. You're really that bitter about Jack Campbell.
Can you picture if that were to happen? Let's say we get Jack Campbell, and let's say just for laughs, Torrance gets cut in training camp.
I'm willing to bet money that Jack Campbell will not be drafted by the Bills. I am willing to bet money that he will not be drafted by the Bills, or at least taken in the first round.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
You're that confident?
Yeah, because I'm pretty positive it's either going to be Osiris Torrance or it's going to be Zay Flowers.
Okay. Got an idea here. And this is actually a challenge I can do. So
$100.
So if, let's say, you're guessing Torrance is going to be taken at 27. I don't think...
Or Flowers.
Or Flowers. Okay. So Zay Flowers or Torrance at 27. I don't think that's going to happen. So if I lose, then what I have to do, I have to eat the hottest thing on earth on this show, which is a freaking Vindaloo curry from Inchins.
Don't be a bitch. Go eat the Bomb Beyond Insanity. Don't be a bitch.
This stuff's hotter than that, dude. It's 5 million Scoville units.
Okay, fine. And then what if I win?
Oh boy. I can't believe you guys are subjecting yourselves to this. This is funny.
Andy, you said it first.
Let's see. All right.
Hey, I'm not making bets here. I'm just saying this shit's funny.
Okay, so if I win, then I'm gonna subject you to the same punishment. You gotta find like some Indian place and get yourself a vindaloo curry, and make sure that that's gonna be like pretty much the hottest thing that you can eat. And if
I can find it.
Yeah, which you should be able to.
You can.
They're pretty easy. But I will tell you, that's a minimum 5 million Scoville units. That's going to be hotter than the bomb Insanity.
Wait, what is it called? The Vindaloo curry?
Yeah, Vindaloo. You can get it with chicken or lamb. And it's like loaded with ghost peppers, jalapenos, all that stuff.
Wow.
This stuff will make you hurt.
Oh, fuck.
Why do you want to do that to yourself? Oh my god.
I've had it. I can tolerate it.
Okay.
Well, if you can tolerate it, man, props to you.
I can tolerate a lot of that stuff because, it's something I remember the hottest stuff I ever had once, like even in the past. And I've had hotter stuff now, but I remember Dave's Insanity. I remember tasting that stuff in my mouth for about 3 hours before that stuff finally settled down.
I win, and I should also mention if I win, Andy has to call me daddy.
You'll probably get the middle finger first.
I'm not fucking making bets here. You two are. I'm not in
No, but here's what I can tell you. I know, at least for me, the place I can get Vindaloo from, that stuff is hotter than hell anyways over there at that place because I've eaten it there. So, literally, that place is like 15 minutes from my house. Actually, Andy's probably familiar with where it is. Sheridan and SJ in that Williamsville Place Plaza, Inchin's Bamboo, that opened up about 2 years ago.
Will he lose more of his hair from his hairline if he eats it too?
Let me see your fucking hairline. You ain't looking too great yourself there, you son bitch.
I shaved my head. I buzzed it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Look at you. You have a whole load of hair, and you just have the yellow brick road going down the middle.
You're up there. You say you got hair out there, so?
Jesus. Maybe Bobby, maybe I ought to ship you a bottle of, go on eBay and ship you a bottle of minoxidil or something like that. Not minoxidil, nanoxidil. It's minoxidil without all the side effects.
Okay, fine. But the only other thing I will say
it's
about
like
this bet
$30
too.
a bottle.
Okay, so if I lose, then I'll eat the Venice, whatever it's called.
The Vindaloo.
And if you lose, then you got to do the same thing. But there's a condition: you have to eat it on camera.
What the hell do you think I was gonna do?
I don't know. Not eat it on camera, and you just eat it on.
I would have it on here.
Buy lots of milk.
Although it would be a good meal. I'm just gonna have to shit out of my ass at some point.
Right. Or actually,
you're gonna be fucking.
Or actually, now that I think about it, Bobby, here's one for you.
Oh God,
Brick Lane Curry House. And now it's in the city. If you want something hotter than the Vindaloo, go for the fall curry. They actually have the chef there has to wear a freaking military grade gas mask to make that stuff because of all the ghost peppers, the everything that goes in there.
Why?
Isn't that sanitary? Isn't that not sanitary at all?
No, you breathe that stuff in, you basically die.
If you fucking mind.
My stomach hurts just fucking listening to you guys talk about this.
I'll stick with the Venetian curry.
The Vindaloo. Yeah.
Because you have to understand, I live an hour from the city. That means I would have to take the Long Island Railroad, go to Penn Station, walk to that fucking restaurant, and back, and just come back on the show with a whole fucking bowl of whatever it is, and then it's cold by that point.
Well, it also
Why
comes
do
with
that?
rice too, but here, in fact, we'll get into Lamar Jackson in just a moment too. But let me find a place here for you. I can tell you where there is one that actually makes that stuff.
I can't believe Andy is an eyewitness in this.
Oh yeah.
Actually, you know what? Because Andy was part of this as well, as far as bringing up Jack Campbell. I think as part of the deal,
I'm not fucking in these bets. Don't put me in these bets. You're the two that are squaring off.
That's a bet between me and Bobby here.
Don't fucking drag me into your. I'm not part of the three-way trade.
No. You do first.
Fuck out of here. I'm a diabetic. I can't eat that shit. What are you fucking mad?
Yes.
No, I got it. Here you go, Bobby. I found a place for you.
What's it called?
So it's not too far from you. It's called Kieran Palace, which is in Hicksville.
Here in Palace? Yeah, I'm sure I can get it on
Kieran
DoorDash.
Palace. Yeah, $20 for the Vindaloo. And don't order it mild or medium. Get it like full strength.
Oh, fuck me. Really?
Yeah.
Well, see what you got yourself into because you want to make bets.
Yeah. If I have to do the full 5 million Scovilles, you're going to do the full 5 million Scovilles.
Fine, fuck it, I'll do it. I mean, again, this was Andy's idea to bring up Jack Campbell.
Whoa. I didn't make any fucking bets here. Stop putting me in the conversation.
You're the one that's like, we want Captain Jack Campbell.
Well,
Fuck you.
yeah. But I'm not going to fucking eat curry to fucking prove my point that it's going to happen.
What do you mean? So if they don't get Jack Campbell, then what are you gonna do?
If they don't get Jack Campbell, then they don't get Jack Campbell. Maybe we get him in the second round. I'm just saying, what the fuck?
Well, there you go. Well, there you go, Bobby. So actually, everyone can see that in our private group chat. I sent him the place that's near him that he can actually get that stuff.
Why did you actually show that to the public? Fucking hell.
I'll put it in our live video feed. I can put the link in there.
God fucking damn it.
Everybody go eat some curry and get your asshole fucking blown out.
Trust me, I ate the bomb beyond insanity 2 Christmases ago. That was unpleasant.
Oh, this will be way more unpleasant than that, dude. That's like the bomb beyond insanity, like times 100.
Yeah, let me see if I can find this place on DoorDash. Yeah, Kieran Palace. That's what it is. Oh, I put in Kieran Palace. I put it with an M.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell, boo.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for you, Bobby. You want to make bets now?
Right. Here's the one thing, Bobby. It's like, you got to remember, I've grown up around hot stuff, so I can tolerate hot.
What do you mean? I eat hot stuff all the time.
That shit's weak.
Yeah, you're weak.
Yeah, try Caribbean jerk wings, which are like 2 million Scovilles.
Try shoving a whole Carolina Reaper in your mouth without any milk.
I have.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
Eat that pepper, boy.
Yes, I have. Seeds and all, throwing it in stuff.
I did too.
But, yeah, trust me, this will be a lot more painful for you, and your face will be even more red than it is now.
Oh, my God.
I hope you fucking lose this, Bobby, because I want to see.
And you'll definitely want to have at least a gallon of milk with you, if not 2.
Well, I will say this. I will be gladly to watch Andy whine like a bitch with everything he gets. He's gonna be like, no.
Well, if Jack Campbell goes somewhere else, then yeah, you will get that from me.
What if he goes to the Jets of all places?
Oh, God, no.
He goes to the Jets. I'm going to be one sad person during the draft, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that's why I'm saying I'm not
getting into bets. Don't fucking try to into bets. Stop it already. You're not getting me into anything.
The hell I will. I sure as hell.
About 2 minutes over, but Lamar Jackson wants out of Baltimore.
Bye.
Yep.
I know he wants that. He deserves a better place to go. I mean, the way Baltimore's been treating him, he deserves a new home.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Well,
and my guess is I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts try to bring him in.
I think they're the only suitor at this point because New England doesn't want him, Atlanta doesn't want him, Miami doesn't want him. The Bucks, they may look into it. I really am not sure. There's a lot of shit that comes out of all this, but I think of all the logical places that's available in the NFL field, it's definitely Indianapolis.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. And if that happens, actually, we should get Trevor on here one of these days. If they do actually pick up Lamar Jackson, but it would be a good fit for that offense, honestly. And plus, they need a good QB. And right now, Indy has no options.
No, he doesn't. But I do think though that Indianapolis is going to be the one to take Lamar Jackson because they're the only ones that can really take him on, unless the Jets cut their losses on Aaron Rodgers. And they say, fuck it, the Packers are not willing to work with us, we'll go get Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
That should be option B. The only thing is the Jets don't have an option B. They have an option A, and they're trying to go for it.
Yep.
I will laugh hysterically if Aaron Rodgers, and it's been like 3 weeks since we talked about this, I will laugh hysterically if Aaron Rodgers completely 180s the situation and retires.
Anything could happen at this point.
But
I heard they are waiting till like draft day to make that trade like official.
really?
Yeah, I heard that somewhere that they're not trying to speed anything up. It's nothing to speed up. Like it's going to happen like by the draft. I heard if it does go through. That's just what I heard. And also with Lamar going to Indy, I know they're highly interested, and it'd be perfect for them because they got to stop trying to find these replacement quarterbacks: Wentz, Brissett, Matt Ryan, Rivers. Like, go get yourself a quality quarterback. Like, enough's enough. At least for that organization.
Well, I mean, Indianapolis is the glue factory, which means they pretty much killed every quarterback that's ever played for that organization. And they nearly fucked up Peyton Manning. But John Elway knew what he was doing when he got traded out of Baltimore when they were there. And he got traded to Denver in the 80s. He knew he didn't want to die over there, so that's why he didn't play for the Colts.
Either way, they need a good quarterback, and they got to stop trying to get replacements that are older or not as good.
Well, are you drinking vinegar?
What?
Are you drinking a bottle
vinegar.
Are you drinking a bottle of vinegar? Yeah, that.
No, it's tea.
Oh, I thought it was a bottle of vinegar.
No, although actually, usually every day I do a shot of apple cider vinegar mixed with water and a little bit of lemon.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think if Andy were drinking a whole bottle of vinegar, he would probably lose all his hair by now.
Nah. But actually, apple cider vinegar is actually good. Mix it with a couple shots of lemon juice and like a bottle of water, and all together, it's not bad.
Well, now I feel like a stupid ass because I genuinely thought that was.
I hope you fucking do, you son of a bitch.
Oh, man.
What, vinegar? Who the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna come on screen and drink vinegar. Are you out of your fucking tree?
If someone were to drink vinegar straight out of a bottle, you'd be like literally like burning everything right now.
Yeah, you'd have to be questioning my life right now if I'm just drinking vinegar. No, actually, what it is, it's diet green tea.
Diet green tea.
Yeah.
Shit. I could have.
Yeah.
Is there a thing called diet vinegar?
No.
Now you're just being stupid.
Yeah.
I might actually go to Tim's afterwards and grab a iced tea. They actually have some pretty good unsweetened teas over there.
I would say if Andy was drinking a whole bottle of vinegar, I would say, Andrew, are you sure you're okay?
If I was drinking vinegar live on camera, you would have a lot of questions to be asking me right now, and I would probably have to answer them because we're live.
I would probably be asking you, like, what does the vinegar taste like? It tastes like shit. How do you like that stuff? Because I'm accustomed to it.
Right.
It's like drinking...
I do have apple cider vinegar in the house.
Yeah.
See, that's not the same because
Apple cider vinegar is good for you though too. I mean, and actually I'll throw it in different things that I make, but I will tell you one thing though, Bobby, get ready for that vindaloo, and you have your choice. You can either do the chicken vindaloo or the lamb vindaloo.
Whatever is easy for me to get access to.
Yeah, I mean they're both the same, but just to give you an idea, it's the curry. It's tomatoes. It's like a tomato mix along with potatoes, garlic, ginger, spice mixes, Usually jalapeno is usually going to have either a Moruga Scorpion or you're going to have Carolina Reapers in there, or both, depending on what it is. So basically your ass is going to be hurting for about a good, at least a good 24 to 48 hours afterwards.
I can't wait for the day.
And you'll probably be feeling it coming out. It'll be in flames.
I will laugh hysterically if the Bills do not take Jack Campbell, and I'm going to watch you cry. And then Andy in the process will squeal, "Daddy, Daddy!"
You want me to say that so bad for some reason. I think you got like a secret kick. Fucker, you're weirding me out right now. I think this is like a fantasy of yours.
Well, but, trust me, I am not a schizophrenic patient.
I want your fucking face to die when you eat this fucking curry. You like chugging milk like it's none of your business, going all over your face like you just jacked off on. Oh man, it's great.
I'll probably have like the Great Smoky Mountains like waterfall coming down.
Dude, you'll be crying on air eating that stuff.
I would not be crying. I've seen worse.
Trust me, when you hit over 5 million Scovilles at one time in one bite.
I am not looking forward to this.
Right. You wanted to make a bet, big man. You wanted to fucking open your mouth and make bets. Well, now you got to come.
Yeah, and I had to make sure. And I had to make sure it was more than that bomb beyond insanity too.
Listen, I'm a man of my word. If I lose this bet, I will genuinely do it.
All right, you want to go down that road? That's on you.
Yeah.
That will be the hill I die on.
And just to give you a comparison, now the Bomb Beyond Insanity, the stuff that you've done on the Thanksgiving or Christmas special before, that's only 135,600 Scoville units.
Yeah, but that's still painful in comparison to like Carolina Reaper pepper.
Is 5 million.
5 million.
Thank God I an EMT.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God Brittany's an EMT.
Yeah. So just to kind of give you an idea, it could be worse though. Could be having you do the fall curry, which is like 12 mil.
Like I said, I'm a man of my word. I stick to my bets, and that's the end of it. And if I lose, I will eat it. I promise.
All right, good stuff. And of course, same thing. I'll eat it. I'll eat it. So.
You got to shake on it though.
All right, there you go.
There you go.
so we've got that, but yeah. Other than that, I think we pretty much covered everything tonight. So, and of course, then here we'll take a poll in the chat. So if you want to see Bobby lose the bet, comment in the chat. If you want to see me lose the bet, comment the chat. Obviously, I want to see his face go beyond red. So,
yeah, if we're gonna do that bet, I would have to do it on May 3rd, which is the next episode after the draft.
Okay,
that's the deal.
We can do that.
That's the deal.
We can do that.
That's the deal.
And then it would be the same situation on my end then too. Basically, if I lose the bet, then May 3rd I bring that stuff on the air.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be painful one way or the other, no matter who wins.
Yep. Exactly. So
well, I mean, bitch pointer won't even do it.
I'm not part of your fucking idiotic bet, asshole. I'm not that stupid. You're the one that wants to make bets. I'm not in on it. You wanted to bet Tom? Well, Tom's betting you. Don't put me in it.
Oh, the Bills are going to draft that Campbell.
I'm just a fucking civilian over here. I'm just watching you two fucking make these bets.
Yeah, Andy will basically watch one of us die that night, so it's all good.
It's entertainment for me.
Right.
So, have at it, boys. Yep. I'm just saying... I just want Jake. My money is on
same here.
Drafting him, but I'm not going crazy enough to make fucking Goldville bets. You insane?
Yeah. And to give you an idea, Bobby, on the weekend it's about 1.3 million. So I hope wherever you go, it's not the 5 mil in your case, but 1.3 is still going to be very painful.
I am not surprised.
Better call off of work the next day.
Yeah, really.
I'm not that big of a plus. I'll go to work and it'll be like, hey, I just have to take a shit out of my ass.
Yeah, you're gonna be married to your fucking toilet for the next 48 hours.
Yeah, your insides will be on fire.
trust me, I had to watch my shit turn green a few weeks ago from the Shamrock Shake.
Okay.
Too many Shamrock Shakes.
Yeah.
Just 2.
Is that all it took? Boy, you're really going to have a tough time at the Scoville then. Woo.
Have you seen me get drunk? Tom knows that firsthand.
Yeah, you can't even handle one beer, dude. I could outdrink you like 5-1.
No.
Yeah,
No,
and I'm not ashamed I'm a lightweight. I admit it.
One beer queer, huh? All right.
At least I admit.
That's okay. No, admitting is part of the first step of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can still do a couple of good Jack and Cokes, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, when I went out for when Jason Arno passed, and I was out with one of his crewmates, who's a really good friend of mine. I haven't had a drink in quite some time, and I actually was able to, I mean, before I got like really tipsy, I had like 7, you know, decent glasses of Jack and Coke before I started really feeling it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still have a tolerance for it, you know, and being a new diabetic and stuff. Like, you know, I'm still allowed to have it, but I'm not supposed to go crazy with it. But for that occasion, I kind of did.
Yeah, totally understandable, and you know, and Godspeed to his family too. I mean, that was tough for everybody to see that whole service and all that. And I mean, he did what he loved to do, and you know, he helped his unit out at the same time by getting them out of there. So, yeah, definitely thoughts go out to him and his family, and you know, thank you for his service.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you for your service.
Yes. All right, so Bobby, last thing I'll tell you, the place that I sent you a link to, you can do chicken vindaloo for 18, you can do lamb for 20, or you can do the lobster for 21. But I would tell you honestly, if we're gonna keep it even, let's do either the lamb or the chicken.
The lamb or the chicken?
Lamb, because I haven't had chicken. I've had chicken for way too much.
Okay, so we'll do the lamb vindaloo.
Not doing it tonight. You gotta wait till after the draft.
Vindaloo, look at you.
Yeah, and I did take a look too. That is the hottest shit you can get at that place.
Most likely, yes.
Yeah, so there we are.
Bobby, give me the Vindaloo. I got bet to lose.
Yep. But on the bright side, at least the link I gave you, it's actually rated pretty good. Out of like over 300 some reviews, it's at least a 4.2 out of 5, so that ain't all bad.
Well, that's a start.
Yeah. But yeah, and let me know if they make you sign a waiver before you get it. Because some places will do that.
Well, I'm going to find out when I get there.
You will not. Please sign here so you will not die after you leave this restaurant.
Yeah. And you won't sue us if you die eating this stuff.
I wouldn't sue you. Stop it. I'm not going to sue you.
Did you guys discuss Devon Levi at all before I caught on?
We didn't really talk about him, but I know, I mean, he did sign, he cleared immigration, he's going to start practicing with the team. Honestly, I would love to see him get a couple games in before the end of the year.
I'm just waiting. It's freaking Levi watch right now. Granado said he's not afraid to put him in.
Well, it sounds like we might play him against the Rangers on Friday.
If that happens, do it.
I don't know. It's it's really any of 4 goaltenders at this point. So, as I said, Levi watch is on. So.
Yeah, not a bad time to find out what he can do.
Oh yeah, and Paul Maurice is a douche. Before we go, because apparently Paul Maurice absolutely was ripping on the Panthers because they were fighting for their playoff lives by saying, "quote You're playing like a bunch of fucking bitches, you fucking bitches."
That doesn't sound very Paul Maurice like.
Yeah, really.
No, he's pissed.
I can understand that. I mean, at least they're still in a viable spot to get in the playoffs. But Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Jesus, his face is red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Paul Maurice as a coach, though.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out what goes on. But, anyways, we'll wrap up. Ran a few minutes over, but we had to have some good laughs with the bet. So, that being said, if Bobby's player does not hit at 27, which of course the two you chose to hit at 27 are.
Osiris Torrance and St. Flowers.
Osiris Torrance. Very good.
So basically, if either one of those two don't hit, you're eating the Vindaloo. Of course, I chose Jack Campbell. So if I don't get him at 27, of course, I got to do it.
Question though, what happens if they don't draft any of them?
Technically, I win.
Is that how it goes? I mean...
Yeah, because he's solely on Jack Campbell. You're solely in on Jack Campbell. I never declared it.
But you're in on Torrance, so if he doesn't get picked and Campbell doesn't get picked...
Well, no. What I said was it's either going to be Osiris Torrance or Zay Flowers if it's not Jack Campbell. That's what I said. I never fully said that that it's going to be Jack Campbell. I said... my expectations are low on the pick, and it's either going to be one of those two. If it's not one of the two, is I never declared, this is definitely going to happen. So that means that best chances are Tom would probably lose that situation because he sold himself on one guy.
Yeah, but technically you sold yourself on two.
True, but I never declared it.
If none of these guys get picked on either side, then what?
It's pretty much a wash.
Yeah, it's a
draw.
Yeah, it's a draw. Unless you guys want to compromise on something else,
Well, another idea I was going to throw out was for later down the road, and that was whoever pays for one of the events for either Philly or Cincinnati for the trip.
Hmm?
What?
Worst case, I could still eat the Vindaloo on air anyways, so I ain't afraid of it.
He said, fuck your bet. I'm still eating the Vindaloo. Fuck you.
Okay. Listen, if you want to do that, be my guest.
But here's I could raise the stakes a little bit further for you, though.
Oh, fuck me. Here we go.
So, if both your players don't hit, I want you to eat the fall curry from Brick Lane Curry House.
Regardless.
If both your players don't hit, I want you to go for the maximum all-out pain on that one.
Oh, God.
See, you want to keep your shit going, is what happens.
Oh, God damn it. All right, fine.
And that is the curry you do have to sign the waiver for, and they wear the military gas mask making it.
In the city?
Oh, God,
Yep.
I hope to God that none of them get picked.
Yep. 2nd Avenue, New York City, dude. And here's the thing, they don't let anyone else in the kitchen when they make that stuff, because that stuff is extremely hot.
I'm surprised they're allowed to do that.
Tom is trying to kill me.
Well, it's the first process of admitting. Just getting you to do it.
I didn't think Tom would ever top me in being the biggest psycho on the show.
He wants you to die via curry.
Where's my will, you fucking prick?
Yeah. Better start looking into your will. Better make sure your finances are in order.
Yep. Make sure Brittany's
You're
all taken
nuts.
care of.
You know that? You are nuts.
I like it. I like it. Do it. Let's go. All right.
I had the top. It's like one of those things, Bobby. You've known me for like 8 years now. You know I can be very sadistic when I need to be, and I'm very quiet at doing it.
Yes, Tom. I've seen you eat a whole bucket of chicken wings at the maximum hot level.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I just like mine mild. I'm a bitch. I don't care.
I'm cool with mild too. Honestly.
Well, at least that's the first step of admitting things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, isn't it, Bobby?
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Well, I'm taking your words. I'm just taking your words and using it against you.
Yeah, I'm not. Hey, I don't get. I wasn't born to eat. Like, I don't eat a lot of hot stuff. It just doesn't go well with my stomach. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I had to get used to it over time, and I did, and there's things I do like hot, and then there's certain things I don't. But this is one, I'm willing to take one for all of us here and do it. So,
hey, don't float your boat. I'm just here for the entertainment.
Absolutely.
So,
of Bobby fucking dying next to the toilet live.
God fucking damn it.
This is a bet you probably didn't want to walk into, Bobby.
You should have shut your fucking mouth when you had the chance, but no, you got to open it and make bets.
Well, originally the deal was for me and Andy, and then Tom steps in and says, "Fuck you, Andy. I'm going to take over."
Andy was never even in the bet.
I was not in this, goddammit. I just said, hey, I want the Bills to draft Jack Campbell. Tom said, hey, I want the Bills to draft Jack Campbell. Oh, here comes Bobby. Well, I'll make you a bet. If you don't fucking get Jack Campbell, and I get Osiris Torrance.
Well,
Bobby, you never win.
So, Bobby, I sent you the link to the Fall Curry in the chat. It's an actual video of them making that stuff with the military gas masks on.
Oh, fucking beautiful.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
I have to. I have to.
Yeah, have fun with that, man, because if that does actually happen to where I'm sending you to the city to get that stuff,
God damn it.
just make sure Brit's around when you actually eat that stuff.
You do realize if I were to get that in the city, I would have to leave work early just to get that?
We don't care. Just fucking get it.
Yeah, we don't even know what's going to fucking happen.
It's all right. It's gonna happen.
We don't even know. We could all look like idiots.
Right?
No, I think this one's just going to be on you.
Well,
You had it
Come
coming.
on. Listen, that bet was towards you, and then Tom says, Andy's a bitch, I'm going to step in.
No, this wasn't a bet towards me. I wasn't even in any case. You made that bet towards Tom. That had nothing to do.
In fact, here you go, guys. Take a look at what I just sent you in the chat, because that's an actual clip off YouTube where the guy has the mask on.
Oh, God.
You'd be
I'm
great.
scared. Oh, God.
All right. Well, it's been a fun day talking about
Yes.
and a nice, lovely Jack Campbell, Cyrus Torrance bet that's going to happen.
Yes.
This is what a way to end it.
This will be great to see the first week of May.
Yeah.
Mark your calendars, ladies and gents.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yep. And Bobby's like contemplating his life.
He's all bent back on a chair, like going through a fucking midlife crisis. What the fuck did I just do to myself?
Yep. May 3rd, buddy. May 3rd.
I will laugh hysterically if they take Osiris Torrance, and then I'm going to have to watch you cry like a bitch.
That's all right, because I'm not going to cry like a bitch until he's either taken by another team or if the Bills take him in the second.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't crying until he's off the board.
Well, we're going to find out come draft week.
Yep. So,
Right. You'll see me bitch and moan and, cry. Fine.
I think you've gotten used to crying for for almost 2 years on the show.
Hey, man, when you was I not right about Aaron fucking Dell?
uh-huh.
Where is he now? I don't even know where the fuck he is.
Is he even in the
I don't
league
know.
still?
I think he's in San Jose, I'm pretty sure.
Probably. Who gives a shit? Fuck that guy.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, what about Craig Anderson, Mr. Oh, he's 41 years old.
Hey, at least
Yes,
he still shows up.
At least we can say he was wrong about that. That's for sure.
Yeah. But anyhow. But yeah, Bobby. Enjoy your lifetime before May 3rd. you may want Brittany to be around just in case if you end up having to eat that stuff.
Fine, I want reparations for my funeral, Tom.
Hey, that wasn't part of the bet. That's on you.
I know. I'm just... You can eat those noodles.
Holy crap, look at how red he is.
He knows he fucked up.
Dude, it's like your face is gonna be literally like purple by like having like 2 bites of that stuff.
Well, let's just hope I don't die. Let's just put it that way.
Fucking almost looks like you went tanning and it's just your face only. It's so red.
No, it's like the tanning lights just realized it's like it couldn't do a good enough job and it basically made him look like ass.
Oh, God. You got that cryptic, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Poor Bobby.
Oh, man. I can just
I will
picture-
man this up and I will get through it.
You ain't gonna be getting much sleep for the next month, you know that. You ain't gonna be sleeping much for the next month.
Yeah, because this is gonna be this fucking idiot's fault.
Yeah. Well, here's one way I can prep. I mean, the place by me is only 15 minutes out. I can start eating that stuff this week just to get ready for it.
Yeah, of course, because you're basically saying, Bobby, we want you to go to the ghetto in New York City and get some fucking noodles.
Get some noodles that you're gonna fucking die to.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if it gets cold by the time we get back from the city? Then what are you gonna say?
Hey, it gets even hotter, so you might want to think about that. Anytime you have like anything like that, the longer it sits, the hotter it gets.
I don't even know where it is.
Well, I sent you a link to it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Look.
And it's rated as a good place too. It's at least a 4.1 out of 5, and it was featured on Food Network for how hot that stuff is.
Oh God. I'm about to embarrass myself.
Here you go. Yeah, 79 2nd Avenue in New York City, so it's in Lower Manhattan.
Oh, goody.
Lower Manhattan. Good luck getting there now.
Oh my God.
Better have that DoorDash to the Brooklyn Bridge or something.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know how you like going all the way down to Lower Manhattan.
Well,
I don't know. Again, I'm like an hour from the city, so.
Well, it's right in Soho, so it's not like the crap part of Manhattan, I'll tell you that.
Well, that's a start.
Yeah. Well, you can get to it right on the Canal Street subway station and just connect with Long Island Railroad somewhere. You'll be fine.
Somehow, yeah.
You're definitely contemplating your life choices here, huh, Bobby?
No, I'll figure out how to navigate it.
I'll figure it out. I don't want to figure it out, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, just wait till Brittany hears of how you like screwed up this bet.
She's gonna slap me in the face just for that.
Let's get that on camera. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh,
it's all because of
my God.
Perfect timing, Andy. Perfect timing. But
I'm just there for the entertainment. I said
it's all good. Well, we went an hour and a half tonight. You guys got some overtime out of it, so good stuff. But let's wrap up. You guys know, tune in on May 3rd. We'll watch this guy over to my left or your right. Basically, have extreme pain for part of an episode.
And join us on May 3rd as I get to watch him squeal like a pig, and Daddy below me is gonna have to say,
"Not gonna happen, son. Not gonna happen."
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. Everyone who joined us, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Andy, nice to see you back for the first time in a while as well. And of course, as usual, guys, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you.